So it's December, which kind of makes it officially winter. In fact, it's actually December 9th to be exact. And it's a good time of year to just kind of look back on the past year and reflect. How have you made progress? What's worked, what hasn't, and what can you improve in the future? I haven't really made any. In fact, I've lost progress, I've lost gains. And here's kind of why and what I'm gonna do to fix that problem. Easiest way to explain the why as to I haven't made progress is to show you the rest of the house. So the kitchen, not so bad, right? This is the living room, and you may be wondering, why is there a bed in it? Well, this is the bedroom. This is the bathroom. Believe it or not, it has looked worse. And this is the shower. Kind of nice actually. Let's just say the conditions haven't been optimal. This isn't necessarily me making excuses, it's just kind of the way things have ended up. This is actually the third project, the third house that I've done, and over the past two, I've managed to maintain and still continue to gain and make progress with my training. Like that's been the last few years of my life. And I had the same intention with this one. However, it's been significantly more mentally and physically demanding than I anticipated. I started off training and continuing as normal, but I developed bicep tendonitis quite quickly, just simply due to the fact that I was doing a lot of manual work outside of my training. Now I understand that people do this as a job and a day-to-day thing and still have to put up with that. This is just me whining. Ultimately, it's resulted in me doing less. To be honest with you, it's been very inconsistent and I haven't really had any significant training. I've not completely stopped training throughout this year. I've still managed to maintain something, but I would say the average has been maybe 1 to 2 times per week of actual training. And even that isn't particularly intense or skills focused. It's been more about just keeping something there ticking over. Because of this, I've just lost a significant amount of strength, whereas at the beginning of the year, I had a pretty competent one-arm handstand. I could do handstand push-ups, I could do star presses, I could do various different things. I would say right now, I'm probably closer to the strength level I had at the end of 2018. So ultimately, I've regressed 4 years from not training properly for 1 year, which is kind of depressing. One thing that has kind of kept the same or maintained, if not got slightly better, is physique. Over the past year, I haven't been able to commit to the intense strength training, so I've done more hypertrophy sort of style of training, and I'm actually like 91 kilos, which is probably the heaviest I've been in a little while, carrying a little bit more muscle mass, and that's down to that, and the steroids. I mean, the 9 ancestral tenants, yeah. No, ultimately, diet's been pretty good, and I've been training for muscle mass, so. Breakfast, by the way, nice, simple, protein, fat, some veggies, done. And that's really why I haven't shared too much on the channel over the past year, because it just doesn't feel authentic. I've really just not been able to commit my time and my effort to training. It doesn't mean my approach, my philosophy, my thoughts about training, and my love of training hasn't changed. It just, I haven't had the capacity to do it. And it feels wrong of me to then make videos being like, look at what I'm doing, when it just doesn't reflect reality. However, the end is nigh, is near. I can't really put it off anymore. The heavy stuff's done, and it's time to actually get back and do the work. And I really want to share that with you and kind of share my approach to building back to training. Maybe it's helpful for those in a similar situation. Just document training again, because ultimately why I started making YouTube videos in the first place, and what I love to do. So here's the plan. I think that really starts with having a clear sort of vision of where you want to end up, because otherwise you can kind of feel like you're doing something for the sake of doing it. And this could be being specific about the goals that you're setting. I want to achieve 5 handstand push-ups, or I want to achieve the full front split, etc., etc. That image in my head is how I was feeling in around September 2020, which was in recent memory the strongest I've been, and that was being able to perform 5 freestanding handstand push-ups and 5 shoulder presses. I know that if I can achieve those 2 again, that for me is like the base point that I need to be able to achieve straddle planche and a few other goals which I have longer into the future. There's a lot more as well on the flexibility side of things, but again, let's talk about that on a separate video. Let's keep things simple and strength focused for today. So I realize today's video has been a lot of rambling, and I apologise for that. Talking through things is useful, but as Emmett Lewis always says, knowing is nice, but doing is better. So let's go and do. I want to share with you a bit of a brisk, because it's currently 2 degrees, it's going to be about freezing as the sun sets. We're going to do an upper body session. This is a little bit more skills focused, straight arm focused, but we're going to follow it up getting warm with my favourite building creation yet, the horse box sauna. Enough chatting, let's train. There's only one thing that's important about training outside in winter or training in the cold. It's just warming up properly. As long as you get your body temperature to a good rate, training in the cold's not that bad. It's just that initial element of getting warm. The training at the moment is really focused on 2 things. The first, I think, is probably the most important rule if you are writing a program for somebody or writing your own program, and that is that it needs to be achievable. There's no point getting really excited or writing something that's like, the perfect program, but you can't put it into practice, and you can't put it into practice for the long term. This has happened to me a couple of times during this renovation process, where I've got really excited, written something out, kind of like, this will work really well, started doing it, realizes that I can't achieve it whilst doing this in parallel, and ultimately it means I do, a month of training and then it just fizzles out and dies away. That's not what we need. We need something we can do for a long term and keep consistent and just keep turning up. One of the ways that this has happened is through how I train. I used to train less frequently. I do strength training once to twice a week, and it would be longer. I do handstand, strength, flexibility all in one session, and I go to the gym for 2, maybe 3 hours or something. That was how I would train. Whereas it's not possible at the moment. 1, time is a bit more of a struggle, and 2, I need more energy to recover from that session. I need periods of longer break, which I don't necessarily have. So instead, I'm doing 4 to 6 sessions a week, but they're get in, get out, 30 to 45 minutes, focused on one thing, and it's just more split up, and also ultimately, I'm doing quite a bit less. Which kind of leads me to the second point, which is capacity. And this capacity is down to 1, consistent work over time. Capacity is built gradually. It's part of the issue that I haven't trained a lot for a little while, so I'm not able to do as much, and I'm not able to do those higher level skills. I'm doing less sets. I mean, I'm doing like 2 to 3 sets per exercise per session. It's not much, but the intensity and quality of those sets is high. Take out that junk volume, focusing on things that matter, doing the basics. It's just the same old, Little bit of interset fire lighting to get the sauna going. It's not only bodyweight training, although that is the focus. I'm still using some weightlifting stuff. I've got a squat rack, I've got some dumbbells, I've got other weights. It's all about the intention behind the drill. Pec flies for me, chest has always been a weakness. It's something I want to develop, but also it's a fantastic way to open the chest and develop flexibility there, especially in the pecs. So it is now 4:30. Started training 1:45, 45 minutes for a warm-up, also including the filming, which usually makes things take a little bit longer. It's just a nice focus session, get in, get out, do the work. It's been helpful for squeezing things in. Another reason why I'm training at home as well is like I don't have to travel to a gym, I don't have to add extra time on for that. I can just walk outside and start. Plus I kind of like this freezing cold training challenge. Is it optimal? Probably not, but achievable matters more. So yeah, I'm back. I mean, I was never really gone. I'm excited to get back to focusing on training again, doing the things I love, having the time, the space, the energy to do it, and I really look forward to sharing that with you and hopefully helps you out, what's interesting, entertaining, whatever that is. I just wanted to quickly mention, have a great Christmas. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, wherever you are in the world. I hope it's time that you can eat some great food with friends, family, loved ones, connect, chill out, have some time, relax, maybe do some training. But yeah, have a great one. I'll see you in 2023 for hopefully a great year. Catch you next one.